those horrors that I read to you, or that Lise read to you, that I wrote, and I did a video on it yesterday too, so you can find that on the Rebel News YouTube channel. It's those are the people who either don't have money to be sort of this upper crust aristocracy. The horrors are for the people left behind, because as the Privy Council points out, people who are mobile will just leave to other jurisdictions, including people who migrated here for opportunities.
We're already seeing that happen.
Are giving up.
Yep, we're already seeing that happen. People that arrived in Canada 5 and 6 years ago with the promise of, freedom and being able to work and being able to buy a home and raise their families are leaving Canada laden with credit card and mortgage debt, going back to the countries they came from, saying this was a false promise. Canada did not deliver on what they said they would deliver on. One of your other tweets: owning a home is not realistic. Some take out intragenerational mortgages. Others enter alternative household mortgages with friends. That's your Brookfield housing pods, guys. Another tweet: people may start to hunt and fish and forage on public lands and waterways without reference to regulations. This is already happening. And it gets darker. Sheila Gunn Reid says people may reject the state's legitimacy, higher rates of tax evasion, and other forms of civil disobedience. Sound familiar, Canada? Does this sound familiar to anyone? Is this ringing anybody's bells? Like, oh wow, this sounds a lot like what we're starting to see here. Well, Privy Council, these are the people that advise the Prime Minister's office, agree that this is what's happening and what we can expect to happen in Canada if we don't course correct right today.
Now, Poilievre was asked about this dystopian future. He was asked about it by our friend, the scrawler, Joe Warmington, I believe. We've got a clip of that.
So Mr. Carney has the same Liberal MPs, same Liberal ministers, same Liberal platform, and you will get the same disastrous Liberal results. And it is a very dangerous future if the Liberals get their fourth term. And this isn't just my words. It's Mark Carney's own government department. Just a week ago, we learned that one of the departments of the government, the Privy Council office, has made some very depressing predictions about the way the country is headed after a decade of Liberal rule. I'm going to quote directly from this Privy Council report. In 2040, upward mobility is almost unheard of in Canada, they predict. Hardly anyone believes they can build a better life for themselves or their children through their own efforts, and many worry about sliding down the social order. It forecasts more people may struggle to afford rent, bills, and groceries. Resulting stress could worsen mental health challenges. This would increase demand for social services. And then there's some specific forecasts that the current Liberal government is making about our future. In 2040, owning a home is not a realistic goal for many. Inequality between those who rent and those who own has become a key driver of social, economic, and political conflict. The report goes on to say that people may lose faith in the Canadian project altogether. It forecasts that many will leave the country to avoid this rising cost and declining opportunity. And they believe that it will lead to a mental health crisis. More people will emigrate to jurisdictions where they believe upward mobility and or higher standards of living are easier to obtain. Quote, if young workers leave Canada, it may become harder to pay for the systems that support a growing number of older people. It says things are so bad that, and this is a quote, I'm quoting from the government here. If I had said this myself, you would have thought it was outlandish, but this is the government's own predictions about how bad things are headed right now. People may start to hunt, fish, and forage on public lands and waterways because they can't afford groceries anymore. This isn't my prediction. This is where the country is headed if we continue down the Liberal track. It sounds incredible, something from the post-apocalyptic TV show like Fallout or The Last of Us, but this is the forecast from Prime Minister Carney's own government department, the Privy Council office.
Let's face it, Canada's economy isn't heading in the right direction. Inflation's eating away your savings, and government debt is out of control. No politician is going to fix that overnight. With Guildhall Wealth, you can hold real physical gold and silver inside your RRSP. It's a time-tested way to protect your retirement and take back control of your wealth. Call 1-877-8-SILVER or visit guildhallwealth.com/rebel to request your free investor kit. And hey, make sure to mention Rebel News.
I want to make a note. I want to make a note too here. So this report was written at the beginning of January. So this is under Justin Trudeau's spending. So it was released now, but it was written in January. So that it's worse now because Carney is going to spend $100 billion more than Justin Trudeau. So that acceleration.
This is accelerated. That's right.
Yeah. Think 2035-ish.
That's 10 years. That's 10. So like I know for so many of us, when we think back to our lives pre-Justin Trudeau, think of yourself 2013, 2014, and how great life in Canada was, and how we are all sort of shocked and horrified in the destruction of the country that we knew in 10 years. So take that destruction, accelerate it, and think of what a poor place we could be in 2035. It's nearly unthinkable. It's actually quite chilling when you think about it that way. Yeah. We simply cannot afford as a nation. The nation will not survive another 10 years of this. It just simply will cease to exist. What they are suggesting here is that with the same levels of accelerated liberal spending that we've had for the last 10 years, for these next 10 years, is that Canadians will be plunged back to 1800s, where we're foraging for food, where people don't leave their socioeconomic circles of influence, where it's impossible to get housing, where it's impossible for your children to have a future, where there's this caste of super elites that are created by our university systems that only the very, very rich can afford. I mean, this is staggering. This is staggering. Do we want this for us?
Yeah, this drives humanity back 1,000 years. Yes. Where there are people damned to serfdom because of the socioeconomic class in which they were born, and then the landowning nobility, and the rest of us just work for them. It's terrible.
This is wild. This is in 10 years.
And this is what the Privy Council big thinkers are saying is on our way. And that is from January. So now we've got Mark Carney, who is spending more and
Canada.
Doing less.
Oh, Canada. Red flags. Red flags. There's a reason why the Liberals' color is red, and why all of the bad flags are that same color.
Right.
Do you agree with me? It is time to make Canada great again. And that is why we at Rebel News have teamed up with MCGA hats to introduce, the fashion sensation of 2025. Oh, and by the way, these beautiful hats, they are made in Canada. We don't rely on cheap imports coming over from China. So what are you waiting for, folks? Show your pride. This is the perfect thing for a patriot to wear, or maybe there's a patriot in your life that you would like to gift such a hat. Please go to mcgahats.ca. That's mcgahats.ca. Don't be shy about it. Wear this cap. Let everybody know you want to make Canada great again.